If you're like most people, the most dangerous thing you do is get into a car, any car, even the most expensive and supposedly safest ones. CCTV's Callebs reports on the latest American safety tests that might surprise you.
The driver airbag can sometimes move out of position.
It's a graphic example of what happens to even the most expensive, well-made cars during an off-center collision. It's called a small overlap crash test, developed by a leading insurance trade association for 2012 vehicles.
This new small overlap crash test replicates what happens when only a small portion of a vehicle's front end strikes another vehicle or an object, like a pole or a tree.
11 luxury cars were tested, traveling at just over 64 kilometers per hour. That's 40 miles an hour in the U.S. 8 of them limped away with marginal or poor ratings. Lincoln's MKZ received a poor rating.
Drivers' heads and chests are particularly at risk in small overlap crashes because the steering wheel and the driver airbag can sometimes move out of position. In this Lincoln MKZ, the dummy's head didn't even touch the airbag.
The Insurance Institute of Highway Safety is conducting these tests because cars have gotten much better at absorbing head-on collisions, or so-called T-bone wrecks. These are some real cars that suffered through punishing overlap crashes, a very common type of accident. Holly Mangione was involved in one, suffering a concussion, fractured cheekbone, shattered teeth, and deep cuts.
I don't think it was just hitting glass. I think it was hitting something hard that did that, because it was pretty deep laceration.
The Mercedes C-Class vehicle didn't fare well in the test, receiving a poor rating. Mercedes-Benz didn't like the test, arguing it depicts a severe and uncommon scenario, saying, "As a leader in automotive safety, we have full confidence in the protection that the C-Class affords its occupants, and less confidence in any test that doesn't reflect that." The IIHS says Mercedes is missing the point.
Our new test is based on research showing that small overlap crashes are a common way that people are injured or killed in vehicles that otherwise do well in frontal crash tests conducted by the Institute and by the federal government.
Well, non-luxury vehicles are the next category slated for test, and today's news does not bode well for that class of vehicle. Insurance industry tests are watched closely by the auto industry and often lead to design changes or safety enhancements. Good scores also routinely, Elaine, end up in car commercials that we've all seen.
I mean, it's surprising to see Mercedes, but how about other cars that did well? What cars did well?
Yeah, there are only 2 cars that received the good score and 1 received moderate. The good Acura TL and Volvo S60, and the acceptable was Nissan's Infiniti G Series.
So obviously Mercedes probably not happy, but what about other car manufacturers? Are they taking this information to heart? Are they planning to make any design changes?
Yeah, you know, car makers do take this information to heart. Indeed, tonight, Toyota, Lexus issuing a statement basically saying that the latest news raises the bar, and the car manufacturers are going to have to take this information to heart. They're going to have to make the design changes in future vehicles. And so Toyota embracing this, and it's interesting because the Lexus IS ES received a poor rating, but Toyota's still saying it's a good test, and at the end of the day, if it saves lives, it's going to be good for everyone.
Pretty surprising pictures there, though. Kind of scary.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Sean.